Hallo, herzlich willkommen zur 16. Folge von Suzerain zusammen mit Apfel.
Hallo.
Heute haben wir unser Meeting mit Chief Justice also Hawker.
Ja.
The administration had been working at... Oh mein Gott, ich bin zu weit hinten mit meinem Stuhl. The administration had been working day and night on the overwhelming amount of issues that were facing the country. The departments sent several documents which required my signature, so they could start working on the new decisions that were taken. After I signed dozens of them, I closed my eyes to relax for a moment. Another long day. Even though I really wished to leave the palace for the day, Lucian had earlier told me that the Chief Justice wanted to speak to me. We planned to meet in my office in 30 minutes. I waited for him, wondering what subject he would raise.
Whiskey.
Whiskey. I poured some whiskey for myself and took a sip. It eased my mind a little. Suddenly, I heard a knock on the door. It was Lucian. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Lucian. I'm sorry that I couldn't explain the situation to you in detail earlier, sir. The Chief Justice insisted on seeing you this evening. I do not know what he has to say, but it will probably be about the new constitution. He will be coming shortly with Judge Mr. Garassi to the meeting. We shouldn't take them lightly.
Ist das eigentlich eine Narbe oder ist das eine Falte bei seinem Auge runter?
Ich glaube Muttermal.
Gut, haben wir es auch geklärt.
I think he's here to test the waters. They are here to threaten us, to stop the reforms. We may be able to cooperate with them. Regardless of what they say, I will continue with the new constitution.
Wissen wir.
Of course. Let's stand our ground and not let them antagonize us, sir. We should... There were 3 knocks at the door. Lucian checked his watch. He looked rather worried. Lavia opened the doors. Chief Justice also Hawker and Judge Heron Garassi entered the room.
Oh ne, das sind die zwei.
Ja, die 2 uralten Männer.
Ja.
Okay, wer spricht
Okay, wer
denn?
macht mich?
Du kannst ja einen aussuchen.
Ja, nehme ich mal den guten alten Hawker.
Dann darfst du den anderen auch.
Okay, ich nehme beide.
Nein. Hawker und
Wie
wie
sieht's
hieß
mit der
der?
Liste überhaupt aus?
Hm?
Wie sieht's mit der Liste überhaupt aus?
Du hast mehr als ich. Aber ich habe auch Rainy. Und der Typ labert durchgehend.
Nur am Labern, die dumme Sau. Okay, beide oder?
Ne, nur Hawker.
Nur Hawker, okay. Good evening, Mr. President. It's great to see you.
Evening.
Hey, evening.
Good to see you, gentlemen.
Alter. Ein Wort, sagt er.
Good to see you indeed. Also gestured at the sofa in the office.
May I?
Please. We all took our seats on 2 opposite sofas and made ourselves comfortable. Also glanced at the glass of whiskey.
Celebrating something, Mr. President?
Forgive me, would you also like to have a drink? I was just trying to relax. I don't think that's relevant to our meeting. Eins?
Ich würde eins sagen, ich glaube, die anderen sind alle ein bisschen... No, thank you. Ja, die anderen waren ein bisschen beleidigend, respektlos.
Me neither, thank you.
Du wurdest nicht gefragt! I'd like to say Stopp. I'd like to stay as cautious and focused as I can. Sieht aber nicht aus.
How were your first couple of months, Mr. President? I hope you're faring well. Thank you, it's very busy, but I'm doing good. To be honest, it was a rough start. Ja, 1.
Ja.
It will only get busier.
Visier.
Yet I think you're doing a good job so far. Considering all that's happening around us, with the shootings near the palace, and soldiers on our borders. He let out a deep sigh.
Ich will nichts sagen, aber ich meine, das wäre selbst Präsident gewesen.
It is a troubling time. We appreciate your concerns.
So. You probably know why we are here. I don't.
Please enlighten us, Mr. Hawker.
We know you are working on a new constitution.
Oh, ach.
Wirklich? The Supreme Court does not approve of this.
With all due respect, the Constitution needs to be updated, sir. I am sure you are well aware of the public demand and our circumstances.
Is that so? I see that you are the one who is not aware of our actual circumstances. You want to make a weaker constitution in the midst of problems from both inside and outside. Even if your proposal passes the Assembly, I will make sure it will not pass the Supreme Court. That much is clear.
You haven't even seen the proposal yet, Mr. Hawker. Isn't it too soon to be against it? So I came here to threaten us. Come on, Mr. Hawker, we can figure something out. We'll get the court too, even if you do not cooperate. Why?
Yeah.
Let's escalate something.
How was that a threat, Mr. President? I merely stated my position.
There's no threat here, Mr. President. Mr. President, you seem to be only partially informed about the current situation. Please let us explain the reasons of our stance. Oh, please explain.
Ja.
We are protecting the Constitution because it works, Mr. President. It is efficient and it gives you the authority to lead the nation with swift decisions. Scotland has more important problems and threats that we should face right now instead of nitpicking about some paragraphs of the Constitution. We have a potential war within our borders. Also signed Heron with his hand to let him speak instead.
Mr. President, I know that you are a busy man, so I'll make this quick. We all know that Swedish security forces found stashes of Rembertian weaponry in the hideouts of bloodish separatists. KA-74s are roaming inside Scotland at this moment. As much as Ramburg poses a direct threat, now it's clear that they are also intervening in our country and weaponizing our minorities against us. It's not unprecedented to think that the Bloods will start the terror again with a new toy. Not to mention the fights that broke out between the left and right wing after the shooting of Bernard Circus. Communists are rising with the support of United Container. The chaos is imminent for Scotland. And sadly, we don't see the administration taking the necessary precautions yet. We clearly need more funding for our security forces for the days to come. Haben wir die nicht gezahlt?
Nee.
Ah, cool.
Mr. Hawker, the court has no jurisdiction over these matters. We are taking the necessary steps, no need to worry. I will actually be increasing the security budget shortly. Ja, 2. No need to worry, Mr. Alter Mann.
We hope that our police forces and our military is adequately funded during these times of conflict. But regardless of that, you also... are you also aware that the armed bloodish separatists have direct connections with the Workers' Party of Bloodier?
Everybody knows that. They claim otherwise. The Workers' Party is a democratic party, unlike the militars. They are not the same. I mean, they are all Bloods. Vier können wir nicht sagen.
Das ist ja mal geil, die 4.
Nee.
Also, ja, es sind halt Platz hier, hallo? Ja, everybody knows that. You know what that means. Do you remember the vote of the Workers' Party in the last election?
What is this all about?
The only reason that they are not in the assembly is because of the electoral threshold. They have gotten quite big. They're clearly getting outside help and their connections of the paramilitary bloodish force cannot be denied. And all of a sudden, the reformists are trying to decrease the electoral threshold so that the bloodish separatists can be legitimized in the assembly to achieve their aims of independence.
You think that's Mr. Richter's intention? I will not allow it to happen. That's too dramatic.
Hat aber ein Point, ist schon ein bisschen... Ja, aber nicht unter unserer Nase.
Nicht unter unserer Nase.
Therefore, we need to work together.
Ja, wie wär's, wenn ihr unsere Constitutions durchbringt?
Ja. But I wish the only issues were the bloodish terrorists in Rumburg.
The reformists suggested changes would also bring the communists, who are backed by a united container, into the assembly. Do you see the pattern yet? Digga, Alter, was ist denn los hier? Boah, Alter.
Raus aber, ey. Mein Gott, ey.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. This is not a conspiracy theory. Haven't you been briefed by your security team? Maybe you should suspect them as well. Alter.
Also jetzt wird's beleidigend dir.
Boah.
We should take the necessary measures against communists and bloodish plots, as well as increasing our military budget against a possible conflict with Rumburg. Ich glaube, das ist nicht mehr mal noch possible, das ist einfach so.
And of course, not fall into the traps of the reformists by listening to their demands. They are clearly plotting to weaken the president and our whole administration in order to exploit the situation.
Ich finde schön, dass wir immer Behinderte mit ihnen reden. Which brings us to some very important information that we have. It's definitely something you need to hear. They can change absolutely everything.
With all due respect, Mr. President, I think this is getting slightly ridiculous. You're right, I don't think anything will come out of this meeting. It's bullshit.
God fucking damn it. Ich muss kurz nachschauen, ob ich wirklich Urlaub habe oder nicht eigentlich arbeiten müsste. Aber nee, gut. Ich war mir echt unsicher gerade und ist jetzt schon am 5. Tag. So you don't want to hear about the information that I have?
There's no need, Mr. Hawker. This meeting is over.
I see.
Suit yourself, Mr. President. Play into the hands of Swordland's enemies. There will be...
Mr. President clearly doesn't want to talk to us. Let's just give him some room before he disrespects the judiciary further.
You're right. Orso and Heron both stood up from their seats.
Please excuse us, Mr. President. Sorry to have taken up your valuable time.
Take care, gentlemen. I expect your support for the reforms. Don't make a mistake.
Droh ihn.
Also Lord sarcastically. Also, das bist du.
But of course.
Of course. They both left the room. That was not good. They clearly tried to threaten you. We need to take care of them.
Schick das Team raus.
Also will be doing whatever it takes to damage you. We need to be careful. There are still many old guard sympathizers in our party. We can't let them divide our party. And he will definitely try. After a short evaluation of the situation on our hands, Lucian left me in the presidential office. It was obvious that the old guards would be my main rivals in the near future. Haben wir von denen eigentlich jemals wieder was gehört?
Ich glaube jetzt bei den Worten, oder nicht?
Gut, dann war's mit der Folge. Lasst uns ein Like und ein Abo da, wenn es euch gefallen hat. Schaut beim nächsten Mal wieder vorbei. Morgen 14 Uhr geht's weiter und tschüss.
Tschüss.